righty, everybody. Welcome into the Pillow Talk edition. This is the second of two streams that we do here on the Radio Misfits podcast platform with me, Pugs Moran. The first one is High Noon. That comes on at noon, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time every day, Monday through Friday. That's topics, headlines, current events, anything you need to basically get through whatever day it is. It's a cheat sheet. It's so that nobody anywhere at any point during that day can come up to you and say something like, hey, did you hear about... and leave you going, what? Nuh-uh. Now, because, you listen to my show, the noon show, High Noon, and you get a nice little rundown. This is more conversational. This is me and James Parker. Me and James Parker, we just, I don't know what we do. What do? We converse. Conversational. This is, I don't know what this is. How are you, James?
Can I just start with something that's just a little off color? I mean, I'm not trying to do like a blue show, but some subjects just lend itself. And this is a warning. It's not like a brag or anything. I'm just asking for permission to do something a little off color.
Okay.
So is monkeypox a gay thing? We allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, I think so. I think we have to. It is a defined thing.
Look, I just saw floating through Twitter, and I haven't gone and done the proper amount of research. I've read a couple of articles, okay, so I don't want to purport to be an expert. But I saw the headline that first made me click through that said the CDC says like 99% of new monkeypox cases are with gay guys. The way they describe it is that they've had male-on-male sexual intercourse or whatever in the last month.
Right.
So
yeah, this, it's the same reason for me. I don't know much about monkeypox because everything that I've heard on the subject of monkeypox going on, I don't know, 6 weeks tops now, is all, it's a gay dude's thing. And I'm
why is that so weird to say? Like, why is that weird? Well, this doesn't feel weird and awkward.
Well, no. Well, maybe it does. And you're right. Why does it? Because maybe we are conditioned to give certain minority, especially sexual minority communities, more respect when discussing something that affects them, not necessarily because we think they need the respect, but because we're scared shitless that our words will be misinterpreted and will never work again. There you go. That's why it's awkward.
Yeah, it is. But something else I've noticed is that was similar, not in the same proportion, but similar for the AIDS epidemic. It was a primarily, I don't want to say primarily, but it was more prevalent among gay men, but not lesbians. And monkeypox is not a lesbian thing. So it's not even like a whole gay specific thing. It's just like a gay male specific thing.
Well, AIDS, the gay male, the penetration thing, that's where it was all, cooking up, if you will. I don't even know. But then AIDS,
isn't that awkward to, doesn't it suck?
The lesbians don't have that much of a violent, chaotic, you know what I mean?
This is how you describe two guys who,
gay sex is
expressing
like,
their affection for each other?
Yeah.
Violent? Gay male sex is violent.
Yes, there is tearing, there is blood, It's the sexual equivalent of somebody in a tunnel going, hey, you're going the wrong way! I mean, it is definitely not... Things rub, friction
violent,
cause blood. Yeah, violent. Yeah, blood. Look, I'm sure it's lovely. I'm sure if that's the way that you are oriented, it's lovely. It's fantastic. But that's how AIDS started to get spread, because of the blood. Because there was anal stuff. That's where it started to go. But then AIDS spent the first 3 years, in the minors, and then it crossed over. Then it basically became like the Barbara Mandrell it went from like the country charts, went from the gay charts, the gay bathhouse charts, right over into the mainstream America charts. But that was only when it seeped into the blood supply. So can monkeypox seep into the blood? I read a story about monkeypox. We showed the pictures of the dude on the noon show. He was a gay porn star, and he had monkeypox all over his face.
Yes, I think I saw like that. I didn't click through to that article, Pugs.
Yeah, it was gross. It's trying to do it. It's part of the rules of the noon show. The
So
trend.
try and think, with our amateur epidemiology or whatever it is, um, straight people have similar, sex. They have the violent. Straight people do that too. Like girls do, butt stuff.
Yeah.
But that wasn't an issue for AIDS or anything. That was
No, man. Butt stuff was not on the menu in 1978 through 19. I would say the 2000s.
Oh, grow up.
No, I will not grow up. I will absolutely not grow up. I will tell you that the act of anal sex took on like it grew exponentially after the year 2000, and I don't know why. James, I am telling you, my entire generation, the generation of Generation X, we were a 3 or 4 giant steps backwards in the sexual advancement of humanity because of the AIDS epidemic. The AIDS epidemic hit when we were 12 and 13 years old. Our Gen X's sex lives were ruined by AIDS. There was nothing. There was nothing fun. There was, and then a couple of years later, the AIDS cocktail made it so it's not a death sentence anymore, the way it was when I was 16. And then the next generation, your generation, you guys invented ecstasy, and you had all kinds of crazy sex, and girls were making out with girls. Dude, in 1980, never, ever, under any circumstance, would you see a girl just making out with another chick. I mean, you guys, your generation really kicked open the doors for sexual sort of freedom. You got back in line with like your grandparents, the boomers of the 60s, because we got screwed.
There wasn't
got screwed.
There wasn't chicks kissing at Woodstock. There wasn't chicks kissing in the Haight-Ashbury in 1968.
No, certainly
Really?
no, not at all. If you did, it was like, wow, that's crazy. You know what I mean? I think that the girl kissing phenomena publicly to get the attention of guys, because that's what was happening. Like, if you remember at Duke's, we used to do like dodgeball events at Duke's, and like there'd be like 2 girls, they'd start kissing, in the middle of the crowd, and then everybody would turn and look and be like, woo! That's why those girls were doing it, to get everybody to turn and look and go, woo! They're not really in love.
They did it for the woo.
It's not Billie Jean King and her tennis coach out there. They're not going to live together. They're just doing it for the woo, as James said. But that wasn't a thing until like 2000. I think it's Howard Stern. I think Howard Stern made chicks kissing and lesbianism far more normalized than any other single individual.
I've been a big proponent of it myself. Can you just like scroll through some of these comments and let's address some of these, because I've seen some brilliant things to go by, and let's just wipe that out before we do the monologue.
All right, there you go. You want to just comment? I'll put them up. You comment. This could be a new bit.
Oh, well, yeah, let's skip that one. Pass. Big bucks, no whammies, and stop. Oh my God. See, now look.
You're all out of passes.
Yeah, there's he's making a point that I was scared to say earlier just because, dude, I need a job. Yeah, they don't have a monopoly on that. So why isn't there monkeypox or...
I'm saying until recently they did. To get back to that point, you're saying that the homosexual community does not have a monopoly on anal sex. And I'm saying until recently they did. That anal sex was not something that heterosexuals engaged in to any degree, except for the wildest of people. The crazy swingers, maybe, man. But no, normal. It was not something normal people did until the 2000s.
I want to see a survey because I'm not convinced. I can't prove you wrong, but I'm not convinced. I think maybe your grandma was into it.
No, who brought it back?
Probably kissed she's just, I don't know, probably working at a dairy farm as a milkmaid or something, and there's another cute milkmaid, and they probably make out at the Christmas party when they have a little too much meat or something.
You know who normalized anal sex?
Oh my God! Why are you saying this?
Because it's been normalized.
Howard Stern.
No, evangelicals and teen girls who are saving themselves. That's
God.
exactly the teenage evangelicals started turning over the butt in the early 2000s. And all of a sudden, if the best girls among us could do
Stop.
this, it
Oh my
became a
God.
thing. I am absolutely, I'll die on this.
What did you read a study on this? Can we do a
No, it's just
monologue,
true.
please?
No,
Oh my
I
God.
live in the real world, and I've been looking at this
I hear
stuff,
you. I
and
hear.
I know
I
who's,
fine. I defer. Let's,
okay,
man.
all right, you tap. Is this you tapping out?
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
quitting?
yeah. You
You're
win,
giving up?
dude. You
What's
win.
that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, please sit down and band. And 1, 2, 3, and hit it. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Comfort Nest stage, high atop the 1%er compound in beautiful Highland Park, Texas.
Shouldn't have even brought
He
it
is
up.
a man of mirth, a bringer of
What is
happiness.
Murph?
Just stop it. See, I was rolling and now I'm not.
You were. Sorry. You were doing good.
James Richards Parker.
Monkeypox Parker. So, Pugs, you're a beautiful crowd. Thank you. Pugs, the economy continues to struggle. To give you an idea how bad it is, Gary Busey can't even afford to wear pants.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Because,
Yeah, it's from like yesterday's show. Europe is suffering from its worst drought in 500 years. To give you an idea of how dry it is, an Irishman actually drank a glass of water.
Oh, boy. They like that one.
They did like that one. Oh, good. They can't all suck. A 106-year-old British Royal Air Force veteran is believed to be Britain's oldest Facebook user. He says, "You're never too old to waste what little time you have left."
Isn't that the truth?
Can you imagine being 106 and checking your Facebook? Teen mom star Brianna DeJesus is dating a mystery man. All that's known about him is that he likes skanks. That was kind of my Norm Macdonald delivery. The San Diego Zoo announced the birth of a baby rhinoceros. It's a southern white rhino, hence its name, Lindsey Graham. Oh, thank you.
Bit of a thinker. Folks, he's doing current events and politics.
Yeah, you got to pay attention. Today is National Waffle Day. At least I think it is. I mean, maybe it isn't, but it could be.
See what he was doing there? He was waffling.
It was Waffle Day. Stupid. All right. It was on this day in 1876. I love this bit, Pugs. Thomas Edison had received a patent for his motion picture camera. Edison's more than 1,000 patents also include the gramophone and the ShamWow. Oh, I can get some more. That one's got legs. I can get a few more out of that one. It was on this day in 1960 in Vostok, Antarctica. The temperature dipped to a world record minus 127 degrees Fahrenheit, which sounds cold, but it's only half as cold as my heart.
Self-effacing, they like it. They like the self-effacing humor.
A little too much there. It's on this day in history back in 2007. The NFL suspended Falcons quarterback Michael Vick for his involvement in dogfighting. You remember that, right, Pugs?
I do.
Yeah, experts say, though, that although dogfighting is illegal in all 50 states, it's still more popular than the WNBA.
They didn't like that one.
I think they're doing dogfighting.
Like
No, they like me. They're doing the WNBA. It was on this day in 2018. Steven Tyler sent a cease and desist letter demanding that President Trump stop playing Aerosmith songs at his rallies. But it wasn't because Trump's just a Republican. Tyler had previously made the same demand of Democrat Woodrow Wilson.
Because
he's old.
Because he's old.
Yeah, he's old. All right. Earlier this week, Mesquite broke a record. They had a record rainfall of 9.5 inches in one day. That's also the first time in Mesquite history someone claiming 9.5 inches wasn't lying.
How would he know that? It's obviously a joke. Oh, settle down, Mesquite.
I've seen all the dongs in Mesquite. That's how. And finally, happy birthday to former wrestling promoter Vince McMahon. You know, he just retired last month. He's now 78 years old. If you want to send him a gift, I hear he likes steroids.
That's it.
He could
He's
use
been
some
through
steroids.
some things. Steroids always put a smile on his face. He's Vince McMahon. All right. Oh, I didn't make you big for that. No, where'd he go? I didn't make you big. I usually every day you demand I make you big, and I
Yeah.
forgot to make you big.
Yeah, I kind of forgot it too. So
Oh. Mm.
see, I can't help it, Jeff. I look like Herman Munster anyway, whether I have the filter on or not. That's my bit. That's my
That's his
bit.
bit. He's a squarehead. Hey, you were speaking about the weather. You want to hear a weather fun fact? We just went through some crazy weather here in Texas, and now, am I nuts or is everything 100% back to normal? Everybody flipped out for like 8 hours on, what was it, Monday or Tuesday? On Monday, everybody flipped out for like 8 hours, and the world is back to normal now. So nothing terrible. This wasn't like, it's like Katrina. No, it's not.
No,
It's just
no.
a little flood.
There were a
Everything's
bunch of
all
people
right.
stranded, just waving their
Okay.
arms around. The power wasn't out for 3 weeks.
So,
No.
here's some crazy weather fun facts. So we had the um okay, so we went through like 90 days of like no, or 67 straight days of no precipitation. It had been the driest summer on record in history. In
Really?
the history of Dallas, it had been the driest summer. This was a serious dry spell with a really crazy early
Okay.
burst of 100-degree plus. Usually the 100-degree plus starts second week of July and runs through August, but it started in June this year, and so shit started to dry up. It was really bad. It was the driest summer in history. After one day's rainfall, Sunday night's rainfall into Mondays, it is now the 10th wettest summer in Texas history. It went from being the driest in history to being one night of rain jumped us from the driest in history to the 10th wettest summer in Texas history.
Oh man, that makes me want to go find this picture. I saw it on Twitter, and what they had is a picture of the Trinity River right there by downtown, where they made that architect made that funky bridge with all the little cables coming off of it and the cute design or whatever, the arch bridge.
Yeah, what is
And
that? Is that some Mary Perot, some lady? It's named after some lady. It hasn't stuck with me yet, but yeah.
I feel like I should know this because I've even been on it. But there's a picture, it must be a drone shot of the Trinity River the day before it rained and the day after it rained. So there's like a 48-hour difference in there. And there's
Right.
like a little trickle going between the rocks in the first one. And in the second one, not only is the whole river filled up, that whole flood basin that goes along the Trinity River all through downtown is filled up too. That's beautiful. Oh my God, are you?
That's what
Boom!
you're talking about, right?
Oh, that's exactly what I saw today. Well done. Jesus.
Yeah, so
You know,
there you go. That's what it looked like on Sunday afternoon,
yeah, see,
the
it's just
Trinity
look, it's
River.
down there. It's below like the normal river. Like that river is dry. It's just it's just barely between the rocks there. You can't
There's
always see the rocks.
there is a river that runs through Dallas that has been dry for 100 years, right? That river's been dry for city. It has never been a port city. It has a river base. When it floods, it turns into this. I don't know what the status of it is today, but that's what it was. That's what it was Monday afternoon. So this was Sunday afternoon is what we're looking at right there. And then within 24 hours, it became that. it
All right,
was
so
it's
I
crazy. And
know
that's not
I
overflow. That's standing water. That's the amount of that's not overflow that trickled down from the hills. No, this is all flat. That's a puddle. That is how much water we got. It's a lot of water, man.
man, just the sheer volume of that is incredible.
Mhm.
But look, I'm no civil engineer, but that looks like a civil engineering just genius boss move right there. Because they still have like after this record breaking rain, there's still like a little foot or so of leeway on the levees.
Well, that's
And
the thing. See, I think it's a little close. I think it's a little close, James. I
well,
think that,
look, we have the record rainfall and it withstood it, and it's
okay.
about at capacity. So, I mean, if you build it bigger than that, then it's a huge waste of resources. Every inch on that's like millions and millions of dollars, if not with a B. So,
By the way, Byron told us it's the Margaret Hunt Bridge. Margaret
thank
Hunt,
you.
the
Pardon
Hunt
my
family.
ignorance on that. I should know that by now. But look, I'm
Well, it's
also
new.
coming.
It's new. It's not like it's been here for 100 years. It's
Been
like
there for like
3 years
10.
old. Yeah,
So
right.
in New Orleans, the levees always get breached. I mean, like they talk about how the levees popped in Katrina. Well, that's different. But the water line always gets over them. Basically, it just doesn't break and flood the entire city. So it's built to they have to pump the water out, and so it's built only so high. And every few years, you just watch storms just rise up, and they go over it. It just doesn't come over fast enough to flood the city. They can usually pump it out pretty fast. I mean, it floods a little bit, but I don't know. I just thought that was amazing. Just the like modern marvels on the History Channel or one of those engineering shows.
Well,
I
hey,
that that was cool.
I wanted to mention something to you. A couple of things dawned on me today. All right, so one of the things that you bring to the show here, Pillow Talk, which we do every Monday through Thursday, 9 p.m. Central Time, you are making your list, your rich man, poor man list, right? You want to
Oh
explain to
yeah.
people what your rich man. Explain what it is so that I don't butcher it.
Well, this is a bit. I'll be honest here. I can't take credit. I totally stole this bit from Adam Carolla when he was on Loveline with Dr. Drew. They used to do this. So what it is someone at some point noticed that there are some weird things that really rich people and really poor people have in common. And by really rich people and really poor people, I don't mean like the superintendent of a school or like a teacher. I mean super rich people and super poor people. And like a good example, the best base example of that is lives in a hotel. If rich man, poor man, they are more likely than those of us in the middle, a Pugs, me, to live in a hotel. I've never lived in a hotel for any length of time, but it's very common for a rich man or a poor man to live in a hotel.
Yeah, and I, at first I thought, this sounds stupid, but he's right. He's rattled off a whole bunch of them. So I thought of a couple today that I wanted to share. I wanted to see if they get your approval, okay? Because
You,
these were just a
you
couple that dawned on
you
me.
want me to blow through the list just super fast?
Yeah,
Because
go ahead. Give, give,
okay,
give people an example, and then you tell
okay.
me if these ones are good enough to make the list.
Things the rich man and poor man have in common: multiple cars on the property, long history of illnesses running in the family, absent parents, substance abuse in the family secrets. Only job is playing guitar in front of people. I love that one. Does not drive himself to work, is well known by local law enforcement, has family members in and out of prison, owning multiple animals, being really into horse racing. Uh,
Rich man and poor man. Yeah, I either own them or they're
has
really
I know has
complicated.
a feud with a neighbor or local family, has one very rich or very poor branch of the family. Father has multiple children from multiple mothers. Secret families, incest, messy divorces, a lot of cousins and half siblings, unknown family heirlooms, always looking for a new investment or business scheme, close involvement with law enforcement, hunting with dogs, eating animals not usually seen as food, carrying lots of shopping bags, not carrying a wallet, owning very old guns. If you sleep with a maid, you're probably a rich man or poor man. They own a mini
If you
fridge.
sleep with a maid, you're
It's a great
probably either
list. We've been
very
at
rich or
this.
very poor.
We've been at this
Middle
for a
class
year now.
people do not sleep with maids.
No,
That's true.
the
Middle class people don't sleep with maids. You have to be very wealthy to sleep with a maid or very poor because
you
you're married to her.
yeah. If you never go to Lowe's,
Mhm.
rich man, poor man, never goes to
Okay.
Lowe's. I like that one. They don't pick up their own dog's doo doo, and they don't make their own dinner. Was one.
Okay, so let's start with the dinner one because that sort of plays into mine. Tell me how this one.
Really?
I was thinking, rich man, poor man. Both rich men and poor men are very good, very experienced at cooking and eating outside. Cooking and eating like a rich man is going to have. Have you ever seen a rich man's backyard with their outdoor stone kitchen and how they show off when they barbecue and how they've got this beautiful dining area or they're always eating
A
out on a
string of
veranda?
lights.
Oh, it's just beautiful. And then, the poor man, he can boil a rat in a coffee can over a dumpster fire. He knows what he's doing. He's good, right? And then he'll
God,
sit down.
that was
He'll sit
rough.
down. He'll sit down by the riverside and he'll eat that boiled rat. And okay, so there you go. So cooking. So cooking outside. Rich men and poor men,
Now,
both
see,
very good at it.
now Al has one of the great fallacies here in the fact that not only does it have to be common among rich man and the poor man, you're right. They probably do that in public. You want to put that one up there? but
Yeah, go ahead. Keep
but also middle class people do that too. So no, that doesn't count as a rich man, poor man because it has to be almost exclusive to the rich man, poor man. And I know plenty of middle class people who have done that in public.
So here's another one. Fishing. Like rich men and poor men.
No, middle class
What do
does
you
it too
mean?
much. It does same reason
Oh, you
as
think
Al.
so?
Yeah.
All right, because I'm thinking like, I've seen like during smelt season in Chicago, I've seen like bums, catch smelt with like a paper clip and a shoelace.
Well,
And then, rich guys are always going fly fishing in Montana at Kevin
right, but
Costner's lodge
that's just
and
one of
shit.
the rules of the bit. It
Okay, so
not
can't
only
be middle class. They
yeah,
fish too much. Middle class fish too much.
yeah.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. How about this one? This one. All right, because this one I don't think is outrageous non-traditional deaths. Like, and I'll tell you why. Because there was a story this is where this whole thing came from. There was a story yesterday that I read, and it's about a woman that was found in a crack house. She was basically devoured by rats. Right?
Oh
And I'm like,
God.
that is also right. Yes, I know, terrible non-traditional death. And then you got like Sonny Bono running into a tree on the ski slopes. It's like rich guys and really poor people die. These middle class people die in their sleep. Middle class people die in hospices and in hospitals. Rich people and poor
Cancer and
people,
car wrecks. Yeah.
yeah, rich people and poor people seem to die in very fantastic ways. Those are the ones I had. I was just thinking about this bit and how we had to circle back to it because it needs to be an ever growing list.
Well, the list is getting pretty good. We've added a lot to it. So I'm adding eating outside and outrageous non-traditional death.
Why not? Why not?
They
Why not?
probably do have that happen in the rich and poor environment more so than the middle class.
I've got one more thing that I want to show you, and then anything you got, you can have the floor. But I wanted to get this out of the way. I wanted to make sure we showed this today. James, I saw a video today on the Twitter box. Where is it? Where's my video on the Twitter box? Oh, there it is. Okay. I swear it is the craziest video. Well, okay. Do you remember a couple of months back, a guy like drove naked in the Canadian neighborhood and ran through? Do you remember that guy?
Oh, I do remember that guy. That was epic. That
It was
was a good episode.
video. I'll never see another crazy video like that. That's the craziest video. But this one that I'm going to show you, this is also a very crazy video.
Okay.
I don't know quite what to make of it here. Let me make sure it's all. There it is. Okay, so let's watch this. Tell me. I wouldn't even know. Look, I've got thoughts and I'll share them, but I think it's important that we all watch the video. This is a woman, and she went out in her yard. I don't know what she's doing. Having a vape. It looks like she's having a vape. She's maybe talking on the phone. So she's vaping and talking on the phone in her front yard, and she meets a neighborhood fox. James, have you ever seen a fox? Have you ever run into a fox out there in the wild?
Sure.
You don't tend to get too close. Fox, they keep their distance. They're one of those animals that run down the road looking back at you.
It's been my experience. They see
me.
me and run away. Has been my
Yeah,
only experience with a wild fox.
yeah. There's no reason to fear fox. Oh yeah. Watch this. Watch this video. Oh, there she is. Look, there's the fox. Here it comes. She's out there. She's on the phone. She's gonna take a pull on her vape. There she goes. Hit that vape. The fox.
What's up, fox?
That fox is going for it. Holy shit! That thing is on her jeans. She just grabbed it by the face and threw it. Now she's
Oh, that is a good kick. Look at her go.
Look at her. She's like, "Come on, fox!" That fox.
I like this lady.
Look at her. She's gonna pick it up. She's just gonna throw it. Ah! Oh, it's stuck. It's stuck. She tried to throw it and it's stuck because it's biting her hand. All right, here's this guy. Oh, I got a stick. I'm gonna get you. Oh, she just crushed its head. And now this guy. Look at her. She is. I mean,
She's a little jacked up, huh?
Look at this.
Is it rabid?
Yeah.
Can you change the caption, please?
Go. What's? All right, maybe we should go. All right, James, tell me what you see there. Go ahead, give it a little play-by-play.
Well, that is what I would expect to be the knockout blow. If you get a free kick on something that small, you should be hitting it so hard it changes its mind about coming back at you. Now, how did it get that high up on her to be grabbing her by the hand? Did she reach down and grab this thing? Because that seems to be the mistake. And
Yeah,
The other thing I'm worried about is at the end, is that blood? Is she bleeding?
Yeah, I'm certain there's blood. I'm certain because she tries to throw that thing. She's got it by the head. She tries to throw it and it doesn't go anywhere. So that tells me it was all right. So here it is. It's on her leg. Right here. It is biting her leg.
Yeah,
She lifts it
the
up.
first hit's free. She didn't even see it coming, so can't blame her
Nope.
for that.
All right, now she
Good
kicks
recovery.
it.
Good recovery. She gets him off the leg, and she's already striking him with the other leg. Good.
Looks like she got him broadside here. And now he's
That's
rolled. Oh,
good.
he's keep
That's kind of a
he
good
this
move.
yeah,
Mistake.
James,
Reaching
at
down and
this point,
grabbing him. This is the mistake.
this, what are you gonna do?
Kick the
At this point,
stick with your
it's
feet. I'm telling you, when you get
why isn't it going away? Why isn't it going? I'm
yeah,
bigger than it. There's something wrong with this thing.
it's
I'm
I
starting to
would assume
think
it's
this is gonna
rabid.
be a fight to the death. Yeah. It's me or him. At this point, I'm like, it's me or him. And I'm going to the emergency room. I'm gonna get torn up, but I'm gonna have to use my hands and I'm gonna have to kill this thing. I'm gonna have to tear its arms off or
Right?
something. I don't know. Holy crap. Look. All right, so that's it. So she picked it up, she threw it around. Now, does she connect here? Oh, this would be a good broadside. No, she got it
That's
underneath.
that's good. That's her best shot right there. She looks like a pro. Oh,
Oh,
she couldn't connect with that one.
look at it right there with its mouth open. It is chomping. There she gets that one. That's
Bro,
good.
nature is deranged. I
There
don't
it
know if
is.
big mistake.
All right, right there. She's holding. She's trying to throw it, but it's grabbing onto her. Look at that. It's like trying to put a cat in a cat carrier.
I think she did
It's,
pretty
it's
good.
not letting go. It's just.
God, if that's holding onto her arm right there, that's gotta hurt so bad.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that
No,
last kick was
she
pretty
ain't
good
fine.
too. Look at her, boy.
She
She
ain't fine.
fought.
I mean,
She fought.
she's gonna survive, but she ain't fine. She's got like tears and scratches and. Oh my god!
You can try and
All
live
right,
in a
hold on. I'll
civil
give you.
society. You can have your mortgage and your blue jeans and your
Go ahead, one more
toaster.
spin. I got that dog. Oh, shut up, stupid dog.
But we are all just animals. Sometimes it comes down to who fights the best. And I think she earned this one, dude. She should be proud of herself the way she handled this. Hey, so do we know that this fox was rabid? I'm Byron said definitely rabid.
Yeah, the report was that it was a rabid fox. Here, let's see if
Oh, that is the worst, man. That is the freaking worst. She's
cousin of
gonna
mine
have to
was
get like
attacked by.
she's gonna have to get like this treatment that really sucks. This aside from being stitched up, I hear the rabies treatment is horrible. You have to get like 25 shots, and they like all hurt. And
Is
you're
that what it is, or is that what it was 25, 30 years ago? Because you're right, that was always the story. But that was the story about rabies treatment that I heard going back to when I was 5 years old.
Pugs,
It
that is
can't
an
possibly be.
incredibly accurate criticism. Okay, you nailed me on that one. That's what it was 25 years ago. Last I heard. But look, when I grew up in Buck Tussle, rabies was a thing that happened every once in a while. Someone would get attacked by an animal like this. And it's the worst because the animal, for no reason, is acting like it's provoked and lashing out at you. And animals don't normally act like this. A fox, 99,000 times out of whatever, wouldn't do this. Only if it has rabies. Like I said, I've seen foxes. And what happens is I'm lucky if I see foxes because if they see me, they run away.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah, if you see a fox, it's because they didn't see you first.
well, I'm just like any guy interested in like how I would do against certain animals. And I would like to say I would do better against the fox than this lady, but she did pretty good, you know.
Very true. But I don't know if you know this or not, but fox are what a lot of people call sly. So you are up against an animal that is going to be hard to find. It's going to be tricky. It's going to have a plan going. They're sly. But you should be a fox is like a small to medium sized dog. Any grown ass man should be able to kill a fox if it came down to a life or death thing.
Yeah. So, I grew up out in Bug Tussle and we had chickens for a long time. And I've been attacked by a lot of chickens. And the thing you learn is don't get your hands down there because that's when you get your hands all pecked up. Keep your arms up here and just use your feet. And they're just walking footballs when you look at it. Just
Do you know what my rule is? Do you know what my rule is for whether or not an animal can kill me or not in a fight? And I probably shouldn't mess with it.
I need to know this.
If the animal can fit my throat in its mouth, if the animal is big enough that it can fit my entire throat in its mouth, then
So
I'm not going.
some dogs.
So, oh, absolutely, some dogs could kill me. Oh my goodness! Holy cow! Sure, anything that can rip out my throat.
So CeeLo could kill you.
No, I think CeeLo would put me in the hospital and I would be disfigured. But I think ultimately I could take CeeLo. CeeLo, 20 pounds. CeeLo with 20 more pounds would be a real problem. It'd be a real problem. But yeah, she's only
no, Jeff. I couldn't take a grizzly. I could take Chuck Norris, but not a grizzly.
Could you take a wolf? Could you take a 70-pound wolf?
I think that's equivalent to CeeLo.
No, it's not.
Because you got to think CeeLo's healthier.
A wolf is a wild animal.
CeeLo's been eating better for the last 10 years or whatever.
True. Yeah, I guess. All right. No, you couldn't take a wolf. I'll answer for you. You could not take a wolf.
Really? Because I have been attacked by a pretty big dog before, and I kicked my way out of a dog fight a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, I've had to fight dogs. None, they pretty much all run away. Okay, it says, oops, seems like one of your streams is having connection issues. Hold on, I think we're having connection issues. Time out.
Yeah, you froze on me for a second. Animal big enough to fit your throat or the hot bar at Whole Foods. That's what could defeat you.
All right. Are you back? It looks like we're back.
Yeah, for me, it looks like I'm here the whole time. So I'm sorry if I just keep talking.
Chat room, is James frozen? Because James is frozen for me.
No, I'm here. I'm here.
Yeah, I know. I can hear you, but you're frozen. Let me bring you back in.
Can you flip the sides again? Because I was used to me being in the middle. I like that better.
There you go. Now you're good. Now we're back. Okay, now you're good. Very good. All right, James, what do you got? You got anything today? Got anything you wanted to bring up?
Not especially. I kind of wanted you to go first because I've been going back and watching our shows, and I feel like I kind of go first too much.
Yeah, but that's just me being courteous.
Right.
Just me making sure that you feel like you're getting your stuff out. All right. Here's well, I mean, look, there's a couple of things here I guess we could get into. I wanted to talk a little bit about esports, but I don't know. And then there's a pretty interesting development in the Olivia Wilde, Jason Sudeikis. It's not even a divorce. I guess it's just a child custody thing because as it turns out, they were never married. I thought they were married. She is like just talking all kinds of shit. You can get into that. You want to get into that? Because I don't know if you know this or not, James, but there was a time in this country not very long ago where Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Wilde were number one on my list of favorite Hollywood couples. They were number one. Now they're off the list. I've banned them both. Actually, I haven't banned them both. I've only banned Olivia. But I don't want to hear from Olivia, except she's talking. So you want to talk about it? She's talking shit.
I'm interested in these stories because I feel like I kind of know Jason Sudeikis. And just like I like to talk about how my friends' marriages are falling apart around me, or, we talk about that. It doesn't feel like celebrity gossip as much as it feels like, you know what? I know a lot of people that are going through XYZ. And so whatever he's going through, I'm pretty sure I've heard similar stories. And it's almost cool to know that as good as his career is and as good as his finances are and as great as his life has been, and look how beautiful his wife is, man, they're just human beings and shit happens to everybody.
She's a bitch. This is they might be human beings.
Is this your conclusion?
Is just a bitch. Yeah, she's a bitch. This is not good. He's Jason. You know what he did? Here's what he did. Okay. So Olivia Wilde and Jason Sudeikis. Jason Sudeikis is on Saturday Night Live. He's very popular. They're all saying he's going to be a great big comedy star. So he's leaving Saturday Night Live. He's going off. He's going to start doing movies. He hooks up with this B level actress who 15 years ago was on the verge of becoming a big A-list star, but it never really worked out for her. But woo, look at this. Now there's this rising comedy star from Saturday Night Live who's available. And look, they're dating. And oh my God, Jason Sudeikis got that
Okay,
beautiful
now what has she done that I would know? What has she done that I would
Nothing.
know?
Not a damn thing.
Is
Just nothing. Not a damn thing. She was a B-level actress. She's probably played the girlfriend in, some Keanu Reeves movie along the way. Those kinds of roles.
All right, I'll
She did
get off
nothing.
my ass and look it up.
So she hooks up with him, and they have this like crazy relationship where, it's all laughs and smiles and sophistication, and aren't they interesting? And they go to the best parties, and they're always so cute together on the red carpet. And oh, look they have a couple of kids, and they name their kids funny names. It's like Otis and Mabel or something. I don't know. No, they're so
Did you say Otis?
Otis and Mabel are like their kids' names. Oh, and they're little babies, and they're so cute. And then all of a sudden, she starts thinking, okay, so my husband, Jason Sudeikis, he's doing movies, and he's getting all these offers. And he's never
she
home.
was in House. This is why I don't know her. I never watched House.
Right?
She was in Tron Legacy.
Okay, not a big movie star. She's just beautiful, beautiful woman. And by all accounts, an incredibly bright woman, comes from a very connected elite family, all of that. She's an interesting one. Mick Jagger was one of her babysitters when she was little, right? It's like that kind of upbringing. So she's an interesting girl. So she decides Jason's kicking it ass in movies. She decides she wants to, she's aging, so she's not going to be the beautiful 28-year-old, movie star anymore. So she wants to go into directing. So he's like, yeah, babe, you start directing. She goes off. She directs a movie called Booksmart. It gets critically acclaimed. And all of a sudden, she's a hot, young, sexy director out there. She goes to England to do this stupid movie. It's coming out, too. It's this movie. What's it called?
Don't Worry, Darling.
Don't Worry, Darling, right. It stars Frances Pugh. I don't even know her name.
You're just saying Pugh?
Pugh. I don't know what girl's name is.
Florence Pugh.
There it is. Florence Pugh.
You're not wrong. It's just how irreverent can you make someone's last name? Just
I don't know.
Pugh.
So she directs this movie with Harry Styles and Frances Pugh. She goes over there. She leaves Jason Sudeikis with the kids. Take care of the kids. She goes over there. She starts having an affair with Harry Styles, breaks Jason Sudeikis' heart. They go through a very ugly and very public breakup. He, in his misery, decides to channel it into this new TV show that he decides to write while he's staying at home with the kids. It's called Ted Lasso. It becomes a massive hit. He's bigger than he's ever been because of this stupid show that was fueled by the breakup that she put him through. And now here we are a couple of years later, and we're getting down to the nitty-gritty of the custody, and they're getting really ugly. And here's what's interesting. And now we've got to allow an open mind for this. If you remember a couple of months back, Olivia Wilde had this big premiere in New York City for advertisers and backers and industry people of this movie.
Okay.
And it was a private affair. And in the middle of this private affair, before the film, she got up and she said a few words. And as she was up on stage addressing the crowd about this movie, her movie, the thing that she directed, she was interrupted by somebody who served her with the custody papers. She was process served right there on stage in front of everybody. She immediately said, this is typical Jason. He's mean. He's cruel. He did it on purpose. He's trying to embarrass me. So that's where we are now. Here's the story. She's talking to Vanity Fair about the new movie. Jason Sudeikis might have something to worry about after reading a new profile of Olivia Wilde in which she addresses her romance with Harry Styles and calls out her ex over his vicious attacks. Are you familiar at all with Ted Lasso?
I haven't seen one episode, but I know it's about an American who goes to England to coach a soccer team.
Because I think people fall so in love with a character that they want the actor to be that character. And I'm a bit guilty of this.
I do too.
I look at Jason Sudeikis now, and I want Jason Sudeikis in real life to be Ted Lasso. I want him to be that guy. I want him to have that spirit. I want him to have that kindness, that inherent decency, right? But he's an actor, and he's probably a dick. You know what I mean? He probably can bust balls and rip his buddies. You know what I mean? Ted Lasso would never do any of that stuff. But I bet Jason Sudeikis is pretty good at that. So keeping that in mind, Olivia Wilde is trying to say here that she wasn't married to Ted Lasso, y'all. She was married to Jason Sudeikis, okay? And you guys don't know Jason Sudeikis.
He might be a jerk. Do we know that he's
legit.
a jerk? Have we heard anyone else say this other than a pissed off soon-to-be
No.
ex-wife or ex-wife?
Except, James, here's the problem. He is so as good as he is at being Ted Lasso. Jason Sudeikis is also awesome at being a jerk. He's
Oh no!
awesome at
How do
being
we
a
know? How do we know?
half the characters on Saturday Night Live were jerks or douchebags or something. I mean, that character he did with Kristen Wiig. Do you remember the a-holes?
Oh
Where
yeah,
they were just,
yeah.
right,
Oh
right,
yeah,
that-
yeah. He's got a boat. He's got a new boat. Yeah, he's got a boat.
They
Yeah,
tried
I
it.
know.
The a-holes try to adopt a kid. The a-holes waiting in line for a movie.
Yeah, kid be great. It'd be great to
Right.
have a kid. I don't know. Maybe we should get two. I don't know. Maybe we get a black one. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, let's get a black one.
So when somebody married to him is now going around and freely talking about how we don't really know him and that he's kind of a mean guy, I don't know how to take that because I love Jason Sudeikis. Wilde's relationship with Stiles reportedly sparked on the film set months after her split from Sudeikis, she says, despite ample paparazzi photos of them together while Sudeikis and her were still an item. I'm not going to say anything about it because I've never seen a relationship benefit from being dragged into the public arena, Wilde told the outlet being Vanity Fair. We both go out of our way to protect our relationship.
Well, then don't talk to damn Vanity Fair. That's God. All right, maybe both these people suck.
She was much more forthcoming, James, when it came to Sudeikis, whom she dated from 2011 until 2020 and shares two children. Oh, Otis and Daisy. That's what it is. It's Otis and Daisy.
That's kind of cute. I like that.
Hey, they are cute. They are cute for 4-year-olds. A 14-year-old boy going through puberty named Otis ain't cute. That kid stinks.
Oh no! Yeah,
that kid's got pimples. that
plays
kid's a
right
train
field.
Wreck. He's a train wreck. Otis. The Booksmart director broke her silence about being. Oh no, here it is. Okay.
Do I need to see Booksmart? Have you seen this?
I haven't, but I hear it's really good. But it's a teen girl movie.
Brady says Otis and Daisy are dog names.
They really are. They really are dog names. They really are. James, Booksmart, I think here's why I've never seen it. I understand that it's quite empowering to teen girls. So, I'm not going to see that. That's not
this movie sucks so bad.
Well, it might not suck, but it ain't for me. It ain't trying to be for me. I ain't going to waste my time.
I have to watch that with my daughters now, and it's just hilarious because inside, I guess I'm just a cynical piece of garbage, but I'm like, I hate every one of these people. Like, I hate them all. Hate them all.
The closest thing to that I got with a 13-year-old boy is sometimes I got to watch Cobra Kai, and that ain't terrible.
Oh, I love that.
Do you love Cobra Kai?
Oh,
I'm like, it's all right.
Turn your brain off. It is what it is. This ain't gonna win any Pulitzers or Oscars or any Emmys or whatever. But for what they're trying to do,
it's Karate Kid. It's the Karate. I like the Karate Kid movie, but I was 12. And now here I am watching the TV version of the Karate Kid with my 12.
Sometimes it kind of warps into a parody of the Karate Kid. Like, it's almost like when sometimes in shows when they break the fourth wall, like that's one of the cool parts about The Offices when they look at the camera. Sometimes there's like a moment of clarity in Cobra Kai where someone just like snaps out of whatever false reality they're in and goes, wait a second. Are you really about to get in a fight with your high school karate rival? Right? Like the wife just steps in and it's almost like, yes, we're all thinking that right now. So it's very the fact that it is self-aware almost makes it a parody of Karate Kid, but it goes back and forth. Most of the time it tries to be like its own like real show, but every once in a while they admit the absurdity. It is.
Teen boys like it. So,
it's stupid, but it's good. And I don't mean that as an insult, stupid. I'm just thinking it's not a thinker. It's just fun.
Let's see here. Where is it? More on here. The just spoke at like the Vanity Fair. Wilde's relationship with Stiles started. I'm not going to say anything about that. Olivia was much more forthcoming, James, when it came to Jason Sudeikis, whom she dated from 2011 to 2020 and shared two children, Otis and Daisy. The Booksmart director broke her silence about being served with legal papers by Sudeikis at a 2022 Cinecon event while introducing her highly anticipated feature. The Ted Lasso star has insisted that he had no prior knowledge about the onstage ambush, but Wilde labeled the movie as a vicious attack. Or the movie.
Olivia Wilde is 38. Harry Styles is 28.
Let me ask you this. I want you to hear that. Okay.
Okay.
So here's what happened. She was served. She was embarrassed. It was done by design. You serve a woman on stage in front of all of her peers in the filmmaking industry on her big night with custody papers. It's designed to embarrass her by design. She was embarrassed. She says Jason did it on purpose. Jason says, I didn't do nothing. See, now we're stuck. We, you and me, the great unwashed, who just know Jason Sudeikis as Ted Lasso, we got to go, huh? She knows him really well. She's either crazy and just lying, or Jason Sudeikis, maybe he is a dick. And maybe she knows that he does dicky things, and that's exactly the kind of thing that he does. I don't know.
Okay. But there's also, what if she's also a dick and she
Right?
provokes his dickness?
She is an actress. Actresses are crazy. The Booksmart director broke her silence about being served. She said that the Ted Lasso star has insisted he had no prior knowledge. She labeled the move a vicious attack. She goes on to say, it was my workplace. In any other workplace, it would be seen as an attack. It was really upsetting. It shouldn't have been able to happen. There was a huge breach in security, which is really scary. The hurdles that you had to jump through to get into that room with several badges plus special COVID
No, come
tests.
on. You people are kidding yourself. Y'all have no idea the crap I've snuck through.
This was something that required forethought, she goes on to say. What bothered Wilde the most was how the nastiness pulled focus from all the people working on her second directorial effort, which will hit theaters next month. It just, James, it took it away from the lighting director and the craft services people whose names I never bothered to memorize in 6 months of working side by side with. It's about
That's what
them.
I'm really worried about is,
Right? Yeah,
how
sure
they
you
got
are.
embarrassed. Yeah.
Wilde said she believes it's her children and Wilde said she believes it's her children with Sudeikis who suffer from the discord between them. They'll have to see it all, and they shouldn't ever have to know what happened between us, she said. She went on to call out the double standard of how women are treated in media, which unfairly celebrates a man as a fucking hero, she says, for
Excuse
simply being.
me.
Well, now here's her
Okay.
point. So tell me what you
Okay.
think of her point. She thinks it's unfair that the world celebrates a man as a effing hero for simply being a dad, and will condemn a mother for being absent like herself on a movie thread. She's talking about when she left to go make this movie, and Jason Sudeikis stayed home and took care of the kids, and she hooked up with Harry Styles. She's saying, if this was him, he was gone for the previous 3 years. And, every time he appeared on Entertainment Tonight, it wasn't, why isn't he with his kids? So she kind of has a point there. That the minute she left, after being with these kids their whole lives to do one project of her own, she's a bad mother. But he had been gone for the better part of 3 years before that, filming all these different movies, and nobody ever criticized him as a bad father.
Well, I think both things can be true. She's right. There is a little bit of a double standard, and she wasn't getting positive press for staying home with the kids for 3 years, but she sees Jason Sudeikis getting positive press for staying home with the kids for 5 seconds, and she has a right to notice that that's a double standard. Rightfully so. That's not wrong. But the criticism of Olivia Wilde, doesn't really. It's not really rooted in the double standard of childcare as much as you slept with Harry Styles. That's the problem with you going away. You know what?
That's
He
what
went
we're
to
all oofed out by.
Yeah, he went to like 3 different projects over the last 3 years, and he wasn't sleeping around, or was he?
No, he probably was. He's Harry Styles. Come on, wouldn't you get advantage of that?
No. Jason Sudeikis.
Oh yeah. No.
Maybe
It's when
because
people.
look, if I'm to believe he's a jerk, then maybe he goes around and he's already been sleeping around on her. So when Olivia Wilde goes out, she might have already had it in her mind that she's going to get some revenge, or if something happens, it happens, or maybe she didn't want it to happen. But damn, it's Harry Styles, and I don't know. There's also a
He
weird
makes her
factor in there.
feel young. She's aging. She's a beauty. She's a world-class beauty, and when she was 25, there were few women on this planet as pretty as her, but she ain't that no more. She's coming up on 40, and you know what? Being with Harry Styles, the most desired young man on the planet,
Right.
makes her feel like she is the 27-year-old Olivia Wilde again. That's what this is about.
Mhm.
This is her ego. She's a beautiful some beautiful women do not hit 40 well, and that's
Well,
what this is.
and look, maybe Harry Styles just has some game too. Yeah,
Oh, he
give
does. Oh my
yeah,
god, he's Harry Styles.
watermelon sugar high. So
He's got that name. That's all the game he needs is,
right.
"Hi, I'm
He
Harry
doesn't need a
Styles."
personality.
No, he
Yeah.
needs nothing.
Witty conversation.
Let me finish this with Olivia Wilde. She
Okay.
says, "When people see me not with my kids, it's always, 'How dare she?'" she said. "I've never seen anyone say that about a father." Reflecting on how her privacy has been violated amid the tumult in her personal life, Wilde asserted that our culture at large consistently chooses to assume the worst from the women. "The last 2 years, my family has gone through this kind of restructuring and a revolution that should be totally personal," she remarked. "But it's not. The most painful element of it has been women shaming me for making a decision that was for my own health and happiness." And then she goes on to say that people who are simply taking Jason's side do not know him. Meanwhile, she was with him for almost a decade. So she's like saying, look, he's a dick. You guys don't realize he's a dick and he does mean little things. And that's why I went off with somebody else, because I am a hot piece of world-class ass. And I am not going to spend, my later 30s with a man who is just going to be mean to me.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna go be worshipped. I'm Olivia.
this is not a real solution. A guy who's 10 years younger than you is not like happily ever after
Yeah, she don't
material.
care. She doesn't care. She'll be married 3, 4 more times. Yeah, this Hollywood people. These are Hollywood people with money. She may even get back. She may even get back with Jason Sudeikis in a couple of years. She's gonna go sow her wild oats, dude. She's not dealing with the
Right.
fact that she's no longer Olivia Wilde, one of the most beautiful actresses in Hollywood, which she was for a couple of years. Which she was a fashion model. She was very successful. She was fast tracked into Hollywood, and it turns out she was a pretty good actress. And now she's a great director. Apparently, you don't get a big ass Harry Styles and what's her name, Frances Pugh. Is it Frances? Florence?
Francis Pugh.
Florence?
Florence
Florence
Pugh.
Pugh.
That's what it
Yeah,
was.
you don't get as a second movie a
Francis.
shot to direct a major theatrical release with Harry Styles and Florence Pugh. Those are two of the hottest young celebrities in the world, unless you're pretty good. So, she's obviously a smart chick. She's got her shit together. She's hot. She's just
Dude,
going through a bit of an ego thing. She's going through a
so
bit of
you know
getting
who
old.
else is in this? Nick
Who?
Kroll. Give me your 30 seconds on Nick Kroll. Isn't he a talent?
Nick Kroll is a real talent, although Nick Kroll's another one of these guys. Yeah, he's a big talent. Love Nick Kroll. He's very funny, but Nick Kroll grew up the son of a billionaire. Nick Kroll used to get chauffeured in a limousine. Oh yeah, dude. Nick Kroll is yeah. We'll tell you what his dad is. His dad is like America's #1 diamond importer or something like that.
I had no idea until you said this just now. I just know him from the league, and then he had like the Nick Kroll show for a little while, and then I've seen him in a few movies, and he's good in the movies. But the one character he had, Ruxin, is I love that
That's great.
character.
Oh, he's super talented. The Kroll Show was hysterical. The work that he does with John Mulaney is fantastic. Nick Kroll's a super talent. He's one of these rich kids though that didn't really have to struggle because his dad was probably paying all his bills while he waited for his career to take off. Here's his early life. Kroll was born in Rye, New York, to Lynn and Jules Kroll. First of all, his dad has his own Wikipedia page, so his dad's important.
Well, I don't.
His father is a billionaire businessman who founded the corporate investigations and risk consulting firm Kroll Inc. The youngest child in the family, Kroll has a brother, Jeremy, and 2 sisters, Vanessa and Dana. He grew up in a conservative Jewish family and attended the Solomon Schechter School of Westchester. He went on to high school at Rye County Day School. During this time, he also briefly attended the Mountain School in Vermont. Kroll graduated from Georgetown University. He described himself as a history major who minored in art. So there you have it. Son of a billionaire.
I love Ruxin, and I love.
Yeah, I still like Nick Kroll, but he's the son of a billionaire. So his ideals are nowhere in skew with it. They're just wacky. Find yourself in a situation with him where the shit's hitting the fan, and that's when you go, "Oh shit, I forgot you were raised a billionaire. You have zero street smarts. You have
right. Like flat tire, whatever shall we do? Right?
There is no servant coming to rescue you here, son. You either know how to change a flat or you don't.
What is this lug nut you speak of?
Yeah. Can't we just call someone? Can't we just No, we can't.
No, we're unless we want to use
you got your dad's credit card? Because then yes, we can call someone. We'll get a tow and a limo. Just whip out your dad's credit card, everything will be fine. If not, we're gonna walk for about 20 miles.
All right, everybody, go download Florida Stories podcast. So I'm up to like episode 111 now. So the Florida Stories podcast, wherever you already listen to podcasts, and donate, help the show continue streaming with the information at the bottom of the screen here.
There you go. That would be a great help. All right, thanks, James. There he goes. James is gone. All right, folks, appreciate you. Again, appreciate any donation you want to make to the show. You can tip us at any of the links below. Although PayPal is such a problem. PayPal's a big problem. PayPal's like, we don't recognize your bank. I'm like, this is why I do so little business with you, PayPal. Venmo and Cash App are the preferred apps, but anything you can do to help out the show is greatly appreciated. That's it. I got nothing else. We'll see you tomorrow at noon. Yeah, okay, noon, tomorrow, high noon, topics, trends, headlines, current events, all the things that people are talking about, plus whatever makes the day special. That's what we do every day, Monday through Friday, high noon with me, Pugs Moran, right here on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. Thank you, folks. Appreciate you. We'll see you tomorrow. Is yet to come. I have found a different way, baffling to some. I have got an old guitar, that is all I need. I don't need no 401, I don't have the greed. Down the road I'll travel, far from the comfort nest. I am on a never-ending quest. Tomorrow is another day, the best is yet to come. I have found a different way, so baffling to some. I can smile a little now, things are going